This new proposal, it's going to give the Irish police, I can't even pronounce the Irish police name, but it's going to give them the ability and the authority to intercept all forms of digital communication, including emails, the IoT device data, and the one that's very interesting, but not much information about it, the encrypted messaging platforms.
Yeah.
So it's going to give some legal framework, and they could use spyware and hacking techniques. They're going to get in touch with the NSO.
Get the
people.
boys from Israel on the line. Get them on the line.
The police are going to have access to those tools, and it's going to allow them to secretly access data on devices or networks and scan electronic equipment in specific locations for anyone that they had identified. People that are suspicious, that they deem to be suspicious, they're the ones that are going to be using this on. But what makes this really nutty, it doesn't explain how it is. There's no clear explanation how they're going to bypass the end-to-end encryption. So if you're using something like Signal, Key, stuff like that, I'm not sure how you're going to be able to get access to it without sacrificing the security for all the users. Somehow the phone itself, when it's sold to the individual, the end user, has to already have some software on it. One way to get around this is make sure you don't buy a device that's native to Ireland. Just buy something more international. If you go, not just this only act, we had another bill that not too long ago Ireland approved, the recording devices. This was an amended bill, and that allowed them to use biometric recognition technology. So between these two bills, this biometric one, it specifically allows them to do facial recognition for stuff like CCTV and other footage. With that, they're saying that they are using those tools, and it's giving them the ability to save thousands of hours of manual evidence review. And they're saying they're using this for child sexual abuse, human trafficking, missing persons and stuff like that. But all this boils down to, this is mass surveillance, right? If you want to go out now and have a public protest against the government, between this manuals or this electronic biometric recognition technology and then this other act talking about getting all information from people's phones, there's no way that you could do stuff with safeguards and be thinking that, yeah, they're not going to come after me. You don't know what's going to happen. And then you're going to have to be careful what you're going to say, not just on your phone, but even in a public setting. Everything that you do and say could be used against you, even if you're doing nothing wrong. It's just because you're doing something that the government perceives to be wrong, even just a public protest. And there's lots of protests going on these days.